The day after PewDiePie video, Johnny Somali wants to sue him, threatens to sue hypocrite PewDiePie for saying he ruined Japan.
Yo, Johnny! Johnny, quick interview? No, I guess they don't want to. Johnny!
Gotta feel bad for Ramsey's attorney because it's very clear that Johnny and his, fools on Discord, etc., are feeding these arguments.
Big news about Johnny Somali. Things are going downhill fast. He's in deep legal trouble, and even his attorney seems to be struggling with the case. After facing 8 criminal charges, Johnny has already pled guilty to some, but 2 major charges remain, and the evidence against him looks overwhelming. Social media isn't holding back either. People across platforms are calling him out, and even top creators like PewDiePie seem pleased with how it's unfolding.
He's been yelling, Fukushima, Nagasaki, we will do it again.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. I'll break that down shortly. On top of everything, Johnny's identity is no longer hidden. His face has been revealed, and footage of him leaving court is now circulating online. His next trial is scheduled for October, and many are calling it the most crucial one yet. Right now, his defense looks shaky. So what's actually going on with Johnny Somali? Let's find out in this video. First, watch this video where Johnny Somali was captured while leaving court. The footage was taken by the Kick streamer named Paul Risen, who was actually inside the courtroom during Johnny Somali's trial. He also revealed some shocking information about Johnny Somali that will truly surprise you. Now let's watch Johnny Somali's walk after what might be the biggest loss of his life in court.
Yo, Johnny! Johnny, quick interview? No, I guess they don't want to. Johnny! Excuse me, guys. No, okay. Nah, Chad, they don't want.
As you just saw, Johnny Somali refused to speak on camera this time. A big change from his earlier trials, where he shamelessly recorded himself and acted in disgusting ways. Now he's trying to put on an innocent face. Honestly, this is the true loser look of Johnny Somali. Remember how he used to boast about escaping easily? Well, reality has caught up with him, and escape clearly isn't an option anymore. His legal defense is falling apart, and things keep getting worse. After court, he was even spotted trying to catch a taxi, but drivers refused to pick him up.
They don't want to be on camera. They're gonna take a taxi, I think. Tell him ice. I mean, I don't think it's bad ego, by the way. I think they were gonna take the subway, but now they're taking a taxi. I think so. Yeah, either he's done with streaming, or I don't know. Johnny was in your chat.
So Johnny Somali couldn't find any taxi and eventually left the area, completely refusing to engage with the streamer. But later, we got some big news from that same streamer. In the next trial in October, 3 witnesses will be present. This upcoming trial is expected to be huge, lasting around 3 to 4 hours. And it's definitely not going to be good for Johnny Somali.
They said that 3 witnesses are going to appear on the 29th of October. So the trial is probably going to be like 3 or 4 hours long. That's what they said. So I guess that'll be the big one, but nothing really happened, to be honest with you. But Johnny seemed he seems like different this time, you know what I mean? I think from like the previous trials where he was all like happy-go-lucky, this time he was a lot more like serious. Maybe he's kind of like done with being here. I don't know. His demeanor seems very changed. He just wants to be done. I mean, probably. If I've been in a case for that long, I'd want to be done with it.
As one streamer pointed out, Johnny's situation is looking worse by the day. He's not acting like the cocky figure he once was, and the pressure is showing. Meanwhile, headlines are making waves. PewDiePie's dream comes true, as notorious Johnny Somali faces up to 10 years in prison in South Korea for multiple crimes. Now, whether he'll actually serve the full 10 years isn't confirmed, but the possibility is very real. And interestingly, PewDiePie seems pleased with how things are unfolding. This goes back to when Johnny Somali's reckless actions in Japan and South Korea drew PewDiePie's criticism. He had openly warned Johnny about his behavior. And now it looks like those warnings weren't too far off. After that, Johnny Somali reportedly threatened PewDiePie, claiming he would file a lawsuit against him. Although he never actually sued, it was more of an empty threat.
And the day after PewDiePie video, Johnny Somali wants to sue him, threatens to sue hypocrite PewDiePie for saying he ruined Japan.
The last guy everyone's talked about, this idiot. We'll just blur him and not talk about him, but it's still worth seeing the footage because he's such an idiot.
Acting like I'm a terrorist or something. Okay.
There you go, they said it. He is an actual terrorist. But he's been yelling, Fukushima, Nagasaki, we will do it again.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Now that Johnny Somali is finally facing the consequences of his actions, it's no surprise the headlines are pointing out that PewDiePie seems satisfied with the outcome. But here's the bigger update. Johnny Somali's defense is crumbling. You've probably seen his attorney before in some of my videos, and even he has admitted that the defense strategy, along with the evidence they have to work with, is incredibly weak.
이거는 너무나 미약하던데 어떻게 이게 좀 너무.
He's saying that it's very, very, very weak.
It's very weak. The other narrative in real life and online is so different.
To make things even more complicated, this attorney reportedly got involved in the case under pressure from Hank Yu's family. He's stuck trying to balance between helping Johnny Somali and managing that outside pressure. But clearly, he isn't fully prepared for the upcoming trial. He's under heavy pressure, trying to figure out how to create any solid argument for Johnny Somali's defense. Here you can also hear what Legal Mindset has to say about it.
Kind of feel bad for Ramsey's attorney, because it's very clear that Johnny and his, fools on Discord, etc., are feeding these arguments in that just do not work in court. They're not Korean lawyers. They don't know Korean law. Johnny's not a Korean lawyer, but he's trying to force these arguments that just don't work in the Korean system. And it led to a lot of losses today, loss after loss after loss. There was not a single win, even procedurally, even small victories for the Somali team.
Like I mentioned earlier, Johnny Somali has basically run out of options. His defense has nothing solid left to stand on. The only charges he's still fighting are related to the deepfake crimes, where he pled not guilty. But here's the catch. The prosecution already presented evidence proving that Johnny Somali did distribute clips of those deepfake videos.
Johnny's lawyer says Ramsey cannot make the deepfakes because Ramsey does not know how to make deepfakes. So since he didn't make it, and the prosecutor interrupted him and said, so you deny making it, but you admit distributing the deepfakes. The lawyer responded, Ramsey's lawyer responded, well, he was drunk, he admits distribution, denies production.
That's why, even though he keeps saying not guilty, Johnny Somali basically has no defense left and no way out, despite already pleading guilty to the other charges.
The problem for him when doing that is that means they actually have to bring the victims of the deepfakes into the court for questioning. And that extends the whole trial process by easily 2 to 3 months. So if he just pleaded guilty to that, things would be over pretty quickly. He would get his sentence and he would at least know what his fate is. But now they're deciding to extend the process for no real upside. And by him not pleading guilty, that just makes the sentence even harsher on him. So currently the legal analysts I've been talking to, they're expecting a 5 to 8 year sentence for him from all this.
To make matters worse, there's also the situation with Hank Yu. Earlier, Hank claimed he wasn't living with Johnny anymore. But in court, Johnny admitted he was still staying at Hank's house. This was yet another embarrassing moment for Johnny after his third trial, another walk of loss. At this stage, his defense looks broken. His lawyer doesn't appear to have any real strategy left. Maybe it's because of the pressure from Hank Yu's family, or maybe the case is just too stacked against Johnny. Either way, things look incredibly grim for him right now, and the consequences are likely to be severe. So, what do you guys think? Is Johnny Somali's lawyer actually letting him down? Or is this just one of those cases where no attorney could have saved him? Share your thoughts below.